Only 4,500, 35 pounds. This is a Grey Wolf 25RL here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And this is a slick camper that I think is easily overlooked, but the folks who take the time to stop and really appreciate it, they always seem to be very impressed. I think that's kind of a funny thing. It's easily discounted, but very easily appreciated once you take the time. It is a no-slide rear living couples camper with big rear windows, a nice high-level equipment package in a conventional camper, which is something you don't always run into. You tend to, when you see this style of skin, you tend to discredit it as more entry level. Well, this is a high equipment package, but in a more traditional skeleton, which keeps the price in check. And with no slide, you'll also see the price stays in check further. This is kind of a step in between the 20 RD SE Grey Wolf, which is a little bit shorter and a little bit simpler in equipment, and the 23 MK Grey Wolf, which will pick up a U-dinette slide in place of the no slide here. Of course, that one will be a little heavier and a little more money by comparison. So this one is kind of the, the mama bear versus the baby and papa bear. It fits in right in the middle, and it's just right. Now, this is not a new layout or anything like that. This layout's been in the RV industry for years. But it's like it seems to come and go, and the Cherokee version has really kind of hung around, and I think it's because they just have a really well-executed version of it. A couple benefits of being a no-slide camper. First is that we are carpetless, and we are easy cleaning. Second, there are a number of what the industry will refer to as slide skeptics out there. People are like, man, I've heard that, slides can be a problem, and I being paranoid, should I stay away from them? And I don't personally think you should, but I also think you should buy according to your comfort level and peace of mind. The other thing is, no slide means less weight and less expensive by a chunk. So there are some good benefits to not having a slide. Now, it feels anything but small in here. With the newer revised decor compared to the previous generations, these big windows, that light bright wall panel thing they have going on, it does not feel small in here. This is a great couples camper. And what's nice about it, guys, the lack of slide is also one less thing to do. You get to your campsite, you don't even have to push a button. You just get to your campsite and open the door, and you're ready to go. I mean, that's like all it takes back here. Couple neat things. This is a simple bifold Jackknife sleeper sofa, and we'll see that open in just a few minutes here. But Cherokee dressed it up a little bit. They were the first in this class and category to bring to market that little sort of cinema-style folding armrest. So you get kind of the feel of a theater seat going on back here, just without the extra $800-900 for a theater seat. I don't think that's going to offend anybody. And again, we've got big windows all over here. We have the Skylight for extra lighting. So we're a couples camping, lightweight, easy towing floor plan, but we've got some great, maybe like grandkid or big dog guests sleeping right here. Sofa in the back will fold down. Now both side stands have these large, I don't want to call them headboard pockets, but I think you get the idea. Just little bonus storage pockets, but they're easy to miss with the extra little sofa armrest bolsters that the Cherokee family tends to include on their campers. Now the privacy shades when we are in sleeping mode are doing a good job, but those are also really handy if it's just scorching hot outside and you want to blot that sun out to keep the temperature down in here. And then just like here, we've got the dinette that can fold down. Now if you're looking for a little bit bigger dinette, a U-dinette, look at the 23 MK Grey Wolf, because what you'll pick up there is you'll get a U-dinette sofa slide, but you'll lose the door side window. That's kind of the difference between the two, but they're both roughly about the same size here. Even though the model numbers indicate that one's significantly larger than the other, they're not. Now down below that seating, you do have full storage, which is great, but that's really good for like not daily use stuff, of course, One of the phrases I like to use there is not an ounce of space gone to waste. Similarly, we've got a full overhead cabinet above the dining area as well. Now, as long as we're talking about storage, we might as well finish by looking at the kitchen here. The bevel glass inserts on those upper cabinet doors, they help break up some of the blockiness, monotony of the kitchen. And actually, a couple years ago, Cherokee started calling this the Cherokee Super Kitchen, because if you look around, they've got just tons of lighting in here. They've really loaded up the kitchen area with a well-lit prep space. And speaking of that, between the flush mount stove cover, which I just simply have sitting on the oven door currently, and the recessed stovetop and the sealed edge counters that we have here, and you have sealed edge tabletops too, by the way, we get some really nice prep space out of this little camper. That's one of the neat things that this does for us. And somebody just unplugged my battery box. Must not realize that I'm in here. Anyway, we've got the skirted stainless sink up front here with very residential sort of look and feel about it. And this is the kind of thing that I normally only see in like some really high-end fifth wheels. It's just really sharp, and it gives you a very good look and understanding of exactly how those countertops are formed with that pressed edge so that water can't sneak into there. Now that tempered glass cover, that could act as a backsplash, although you do have a full tile backsplash here, and you'll see a nice little nod to that in the bathroom. They help tie the bathroom and the living room decors together. Down below, we already talked about that one-piece sink cover there, but a nice space for a wastebasket. That is one of those tiny improvements that they made here compared to the previous generation. And in case you're curious, there's a couple extra little panels right here just to protect, it looks like maybe some heat ducting from cargo shift. They don't want that getting busted up or torn up. And you do have full plywood extension drawers, but I like that they're using big drawers instead of small ones. Just the little things that make the difference. And speaking of heat ducting, you notice that we have cabinet ducted heating here, not floor ducted heating in Grey Wolf models, so that there's no floor vents to potentially collect dirt and debris, which I don't think anyone's disappointed with. Now, someone was kind enough to kill our power for us. They thought I forgot my battery box outside of the camper. They didn't realize I was in here working. But I do want to take a moment to peek at the little nightlight knobs on the stovetop. You see the blue backlighting there. You'll see similar blue backlighting behind the speakers and under the awning outside. But if you do have one of those little grandkid guests sleeping on your dinette or your sofa at night, that just enough light there to help them be able to navigate to the bathroom at night if they do need to get there. Now, we've peeked at the Skylight a few times, but I do want to point out the fact that it does have a shade here, kind of like you have your night privacy shades on all your windows. If you're trying to not just have privacy, but if you're trying to keep the RV cooler and you want to keep the sun out of it, you pull those shades and guys, it'll make a dramatic difference. What's also going to help you is that we do have centrally ducted air conditioning, which is really important in a model like this with a private bathroom and a private bedroom. Since you have sectionalized rooms, you need the extra efficiency, that centralized airflow, to be able to cool the camper effectively throughout. Now, if you're sitting on that little cinema-style sofa in the back here, you can see the TV hookups would be right across from you. Grey Wolf campers at Haylett RV don't traditionally include a TV from the factory. The reason being, we found that we can get a better TV for less money and even install it at equal or less money from the factory. So if so many people have a little TV that they just don't need to add one. And let me reach over here real quick. Where'd they go? Oh, somebody took my TV mounts while I was gone too. Well, I'm just, you know, I'm getting so much help, it's a pain in the neck today. Usually that's my job. I'm so helpful, I'm a pain in the neck. Anyway, speaking of entertainment, what I was going to say, guys, is there's a little like TV bracket that slots right in here, and there are two of them included with this RV, so it's not hard at all to add a little flat screen on this. Now, you've got TV mounts here in the bedroom and outside, so you can use one screen and float around, or you could add multiple TVs as you please. Over here we've got our entertainment system. A lot of brands are going to this. It's Bluetooth, inside-outside stereo. But instead of DVD, which not as many people are using today, they give you expandable entertainment port options on the face of it here. And what's funny is that even has a microphone. You could place hands-free calls on your phone through your camper, just like you do your car. All your important switches and lights and stuff like that, they're all up here, up away from maybe the grands if the littles are over for the weekend. And another thing that the Cherokee and Grey Wolf families do well is pretty much next to anywhere you would sit or sleep, you're going to see household and 12-volt powered USB plugs, because I'm just on a simple little battery right now. So, you know, very boondocking friendly if you're trying to keep your phone topped off. And just to give you a quick look at that dinette when it's all set up in the daytime position. Of course, I got to point the camera not directly at a window if I'm paying attention. So I mentioned it in the kitchen, but just to give you a closer look, the tabletop, just like the bathroom counters in the kitchen, they are all a sealed edge press membrane here. Speaking of bathroom, let's take a walk. Thankfully, it ain't that far. And it's kind of funny. They just straight up took this bathroom out of their Forest River cousin Rockwood's playbook. This is a Rockwood bathroom through and through, and this is not the type of bathroom you usually get in a more conventional class camper. So next to the shower here, we've got this big 6.5 foot tall floor to ceiling closet cabinet, whatever you want it to be right here. And then behind this door, we have yet another big linen cabinet. So you have room in here for extra clothes, plenty of towels, extra toiletries. This bathroom is, I guess, what you kind of refer to as fully self-contained in the RV business. It takes care of itself and it doesn't need outside help. You've also got the bigger Max Air vent fan up here, which is one of the reasons why the Cherokee Gray Wolf family slots their doors. A lot of people say, yeah, doesn't that cause odor problem from the bathroom? And the answer is no, because this fan is so powerful, it will pull air in from other rooms to exhaust through here. So it'll be the opposite of any kind of odor problem. Now, kind of classic Forest River, but some of their brands have gotten away from it, and the Cherokee Gray Wolf family here never really has. And that is the extra large sink and vanity to give you the extra storage space you need to keep that countertop clutter free, because they put a bigger sink in. It does take away from counter space a little, but it's enough. You know, you have enough to keep like a brush or two out, whatever you're using when you're using it. And otherwise, you have all the storage you're going to need for it here. And you can't really see it from this angle, but that is a foot flush stool. But what I like here, guys, is this big wide open bathroom space. For a big person like me, I get out of the shower, I've got all the room in the world to stretch out and get dressed without, bumping into anything. Now, the bedroom up front is not large, but it's effective. And I mean, that's really all it needs to be. Real quick note, let me kind of work my way around clockwise here. We're going to start with TV hookups directly across from the bed. Remember, matching TV mount in the living room and outside. Cross breeze windows for excellent airflow, and the mirrored full-length closets right there, rather. They are really helping the bedroom look and feel a little bit bigger with an extra sense of space. Now, both sides of the bed here have household and USB plugs. A lot of RV brands still will give you household and USB plugs only on this side, the camp side of the RV, and you're stuck with only household outlets on the other side. Is it an end of the world deal? No, not really, but it is nice. And the extra large window in here for more lights and more sights makes the bedroom look bigger. Plus, if you do sit up at night, it is much easier to just sort of look forward and look outside and have a better idea of what's going on outside of your RV. Now, just because this one's a little smaller, maybe doesn't have a slide, doesn't mean that they didn't go whole hog on the equipment package here. We've got all the same big loaded equipment bundle that you'd find on the rest of the full Gray Wolf and Cherokee families. The anti-slam door with the bigger handle to come in and out. And I love these MORryde steps. This is something they started offering one generation ago across the board here, and the response has just been immense. The adjustable foot pegs on that are fantastic, because if you're on some goofy, site with uneven ground, you can make the one side or the other side a little bit longer to match up. And in point of fact, this camper is not level at all near the ground right now, or neither is, rather. And one of these pegs is actually 2 notches longer than the other one, but it's sturdy and stable when you hop in. Now, our tires, since I'm standing here, neat thing on these mag wheels is they put a tire pressure indicator on the valve stem cap, so that if that flips from green to red, you know without even looking that you need to put air in those tires, which is the #1 cause of flats on the road, is improper tire inflation. Outside TV station, I've mentioned that 2 or 3 times, so I'm not going to try to beat that horse any more to death than I already have. And a very generous front storage compartment here. This is something that they've standardized the front end of their Gray Wolves and Cherokees, and it seems to work very well for people. And you can get to the storage up in that alcove there inside by lifting the bed. But some people like separate inside and outside storage. What Cherokee did here is they did leave it open and accessible. However, they've added some cross members for bed strength in there so that the beds don't feel soft or spongy when you lay on them. But it is easy just to panel that off if you do want to segregate and separate the inside and outside storage compartments. Now, little things here, like inside your baggage door, where this little framing right here, it could more easily be exposed to any sort of like water, like just dripping, not even rain, but like condensation in the morning when you lift this baggage door could drip down. So they hit that as a really hard anti-wicking treatment. Just extra little things to keep this thing protected over time. Simple side mount solar prep plug. If you got one of them portable solar suitcase panels, you can plug that in there and kind of move the panel around during the day to keep it in contact with the sun. Great if you're boondocking. And again, you've got those 12 volt or USB plugs to keep it charged up. Right in front of this front stabilizer jack down here, you do have a gas grill quick connect, and I like how that's located away from the awning so that it is, not so it's not going to smoke up your awning, as it were. Power tongue jack also does the heavy lifting for you, so the power awning jack makes setting and braking camp a lot simpler and easier. Extra thick fully painted aluminum nose sweep on the front here is also another thing I like to talk about on these. It's something that a lot of other brands have really kind of cloned and copied. Like you can see another one of these who said, oh, we like that feature, we should try to copy that in the background over there. Well, these guys are the ones that really made it a big deal. Because it's not just an aluminum nose, it's extremely thick. The entire nose, the nose skin is about 200% thicker than the sidewall skin, basically, guys. So it's resistant to buckling from headwinds, stones being thrown, anything like that. Now, if we take a look up front here, you'll notice how this actually has a custom engineered chassis, and you can tell that by the integrated A-frames under the chassis there. That's going to be one of the differences between the Grey Wolf and the full Cherokee series, because what that allows the Grey Wolf to do is ride a little bit lower to the ground. So, as opposed to the Cherokees, which are the same interior height, but they're taller exterior because the whole body is set up a little bit higher. But that also allows the Cherokee to use a different type of floor flush slide system. So that's the chassis is really what kind of separates a Grey Wolf from a Cherokee. Otherwise, in terms of equipment and appointments, they're basically identical. This outside light right here has its own switch, and it's a full bright white light. So if you do need to come out here to your hookup and dump station in the evening hours real quick, you've got one light that you can turn on just to activate it when you need it, turn it off when you don't, so you're not going to blind the neighbors, but you can actually see what you're doing. Also, black tank flush, full outside utility shower over here. Those never seem to offend anybody. Backing up, you'll get a good look in just a second here at the 200-pound rated fold-down rear cargo rack. And that has been a crowd pleaser since its induction. But one of the funny things, guys, is it actually makes the length in the brochure on Cherokees and Grey Wolves read arbitrarily long, because the manufacturers are required to measure from the tip of the tongue to the back of the bumper point here. Well, if they didn't have this cargo tray, they could actually slide the bumper back about 4 to 6 inches. Doesn't matter. So when you look at the length of these, you can subtract about 4 inches to have a better idea of what the actual body size is. But this thing is handy, not for cargo, for coolers, for a small portable generator, for the spare tire. Obviously, you don't need to take the spare tire off to drop that either. And we are set and ready for a rear view or in motion observation camera on the back of her. And finally, a quick look at her with the awning out. One of the nice things about not having slides on the door side of the RV is you get a very nice unobstructed patio space. Another cool thing here is with the way they position that awning, it goes well past the entry door, so you don't have that issue where, like on a rainy day, if it's kind of drizzly spritzing, the rain will kind of splash off the edge of the awning, kind of splash into or on you by the door. It's not like it's a big deal. It's just nice that it doesn't have to happen here. Mr. Jody's in here quality controlling things currently. If you've seen a bunch of my videos, you might have seen Jody. But the anti-slam entry door is going to keep him from getting annoyed by me, because obviously I didn't just slam the door on him here. And what's kind of cool, we talked about it a little earlier, but our outside TV hookups all protected here under the awning, or just enjoy the speakers. But once again, the updated color palette on here with the backlit sort of outside speakers here, in conjunction with the matching blue LED awning lighting, it all makes sense now. Whereas in the previous generation with brown skin and red stripe, it's not that the camper looked bad. I didn't think it looked bad at all. It's just that everything works together now. And these guys just keep getting better. So, whether it's hitching pieces, parts, trades, financing, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything between, we do it all for you at Haylet RV. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.